well, and just enjoying the content gift that keeps on giving.
You're enjoying the madness?
It's just it's like Monopoly with like all these dollar figures get tossed about and stuff, and seeing how other people are spending other people's money as far as what they should and should not cancel and what they should and should not produce. It's just, it reaches a point where at first it was, it's kind of like just sit back and just grab the popcorn and just see how all this stuff just unfolds.
Man.
I mean, it literally every single day since we got the news of the cancellation of Batgirl last week.
Right.
There's been like another shoe that drops. And it's like a soap opera, or who needs to like produce a film when they're, I guess this is the thing with now that you have Discovery Networks, CEO running the Warner Brothers side, because I mean Discovery Networks is well known for their unscripted television, so we're having this play out in real time.
Oh my God. Yeah, so they canceled Batgirl, and yet they merge, and then they unveil a new 10-year plan for DCEU.
Yeah, which they emerge. Yeah, they reveal a new 10-year plan, but they still have like a plan that has like these standalone projects like Batman and Joker, which they confirmed something that we talked about weeks ago, that Lady Gaga was going to be in Joker too, which we're like, okay, there's like, nothing to see here. We're just throwing this up here for you guys.
But I've never really associated Joker with the DCEU.
And it wasn't. You're right.
Yeah. And then the Batman, I honestly, for listeners who have been around for a while, they know how hyped I was for that movie. I have seen it still one time. And I don't remember it. Like, people bring up the Batman and I'm like, oh yeah, that was a big thing that happened this past March. But it's just, there's something about it that I don't remember it until somebody else brings it up.
Mm-hmm.
And I will say though that I think out of everything that needs to be preserved, because there's some things that they did in that movie at the end that we want follow through. Okay, follow through.
For sure.
But I'm also like, when are we not? Can we just not have a DC plan? Can you just, like, honestly, at this point, if you have a DC plan, go shred it, because it's not going to work out. I'm not going to believe you, even when you're filming. I could have sworn I said when everyone was freaking out about Michael Keaton being on set of The Flash, I'm like, that movie isn't going to get made. It was made. Will we ever see it? That's another story.
Yeah.
But one thing's for sure, we're not seeing Batgirl, which that was a shock. But I'm also, I don't know why, I'm kind of like, okay, well, it was only going to be released on HBO Max anyway, so I mean, but it's just these projects.
Yeah, well, that's how, it was like, it was a shock, because it's not every day you see a name IP like in the Bat family. I mean, it wasn't like it was the Wonder Twins thing, for example, where whenever they greenlit that to begin with, I was kind of like, huh? Now we're of all the characters in the DC catalog, you're gonna pull out the Wonder Twins to like make a live action show. So that one was a head scratcher. So I get that when that one was canceled, when the new folks came on board.
Right.
Batgirl, yeah, I completely, I guess I'm of like two minds of this. On the one hand, yes, it was a bad look. I mean, it was a Latino led project. Obviously the optics of it were terrible, and also you had the directors who Bibadil and I'm blanking on the other person, but he was at his wedding in Morocco, and they did a wonderful job with Miss Marvel. So you hate it for the creatives because they put their time into this. Yes, they did get paid, but they still put a lot of time into this and all that. But on the other hand, I do get it from the business standpoint that, okay, we are this model of day and date streaming and pumping a boatload of money and to a feature length project that's only going to go to streaming, and that probably may or may not move the needle as far as getting additional subscribers.
Right.
Yeah. Business sense. Okay, we'll just take the tax write-off. Better to do that, instead of throwing good money after the bad. And also to, because it was designed for streaming, they're going to have to do a significant amount of investment to even bring it up to feature length. So, from a business standpoint, I get what they did.
Right. Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, we have to remember that part of the reason why these things keep happening is because the movies are, and how we consume film and TV is we're viewers, so we view it all as entertainment, but entertainment is a huge business, and there are a lot of people with money investments into that, just as much as there are the creators and the creatives behind it all. So and right now WB and DC, they're just not, they're just having a lot of shaky business deals happening. And I mean, it all really started the moment they cast Ezra Miller, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you're right about the business aspect, because that's another point too. I mean, because of the AT&T, when they still owned Warner Brothers, and the prior CEO had this whole day and date streaming decision, with the beginning of the pandemic, and didn't tell the creatives, to the point where they like lost people like Christopher Nolan, because they didn't give them a heads up that they were about to do this. And then they had to do the apology tour and the big, financial payout to people to try to make nice. The prior, it's kind of like, we have changes in administrations and workplaces and stuff. The prior people did a crappy job. So a lot of times the new people have to come in, fix the problems that were made by the prior team, and then move forward. So, but you're right. The whole idea of this 10-year plan, just stop it. And then,
go spread it.
Yeah.
1 minute before I forget, on the note of Christopher Nolan, I did watch the trailer for his new movie, Oppenheimer. Oh, yeah. And it pissed me off because the thumbnail for that trailer is in black and white. Mm-hmm. So I went in thinking, this is going to be black and white. He's going to do cool things with visuals, and it's Nolan. It's Nolan. And I'm watching it. I'm like, this is all freaking color.
Yep.
Me and my dad were talking about it, and we're just like, if this movie is going to be like a retrospective where we're going to be introduced to him when he's older, looking back at his life and telling the story of his life through that narration, and that's Michael Caine, and then you have Cillian Murphy play young Oppenheimer. Like the flashback should be in black and white, and the present should be in color. But it just that irritated me. I will end up seeing the movie.
Oh yeah, me too.
Because it's Nolan, and I'm always curious. It's Nolan. And moving on from that and back to the DC rodeo. Yeah. So you put on here some DC films are undergoing a reset. Many announced projects, including Static Shock, The Green Lantern Corps, Supergirl, J.J. Abrams' Black Superman project, with Tanashi Coates is still under development, but yet at a slower pace.
That's just it. I mean, and something that you said about not trusting anything from the studios at this point, as far as announcements and whatnot. Yeah, these things are still in progress, and even though it depends. It's the way this thing has evolved. It's like a game of telephone, right? Depending on one person you listen to, these things are canceled. The other person you listen to, they're still on. So
That's why I
what?
only listen to you, Will, when you tell
Yeah.
me things. And then I still question it and be
Oh, I
like,
know you.
"Oh, you're
Yeah.
full of crap."
I know you. I know you think I'm full of crap. I'm just. I
You
try to.
perfectionist.
I try to do my due diligence to like find the right stuff because I want our listeners to be informed and not get into be like poor Rosario Dawson who was like
Right.
at a con last week. Oh, I heard this about fan news that the Punisher's returning. Yeah, you don't want
You
to. I try to.
know, I didn't hate that.
Yeah, I
Didn't hate
know.
that.
I know you didn't. I thought about you when I heard that.
I didn't. I mean, it's just, uh, yeah.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
we're getting there. Next week, She-Hulk. We're gonna see Daredevil, and then I can go on my rants about some things.
yeah,
And looking forward to
yeah.
Daredevil. Back in the day, I did have a podcast that was exclusively about Daredevil. I think you can still find it. I forget where though, but
Mm.
that's a story for another day.
Yeah,
So
but
yeah, there's just a lot of unrest in
yeah, I
DC
mean,
right now.
yeah, there is. I mean, like I was reading, even like with this reset and news that's popping out there. I mean, there's things that the thing I was whenever this news first broke, it was like, well, what about Blue Beetle? Looks like Blue Beetle's definitely a go, still a go. Uh, I think they've they finished filming, it's in post production. As far as things on HBO Max, as far as streaming, did see a thing this earlier this evening that even though nothing has been decided, looks like Doom Patrol and Titans may or may not continue. So that's something that obviously those both the Titans I think is dropping. I want to say in late September or October, and I think Doom Patrol later this year after Titans finishes. So or maybe the first part of next. So, we'll see what happens. I'm sure they'll see how I know that both of those shows have streamed well, and in the past, at least under prior administrations, they got early renewals. So we'll see what happens there. Um, but yeah, it's just like a lot of crazy things going on, and we hadn't even gotten into Ezra Miller yet.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,